All right, so my name is Rosemary Mburu. I am from Kenya. I work with the World AIDS Campaign International. My experience with HIV, TB, and malaria, I would focus that on HIV because I come from Kenya and it was one of the African countries with high prevalence late in the early 90s. And I think growing up, my experience was that there was this disease that everyone really feared and which equaled death. I also remember watching my aunt and my cousin suffer with HIV to a point of death. And that was a time where you couldn't even speak about HIV. So actually, you just watch your family suffer, you watch them be bedridden, you watch them go through this tough time, which really affects everyone in the family. It's not just the person infected, but also everyone in the family. And watching them be bedridden and die and leaving their children behind who are now orphans, is something quite traumatizing. And so for me, I kept wondering what really is the solution to this problem. And at that time, there was no hope, really. There was no hope because people just used to die. But then with entry of treatment, then there was some hope. But the treatment was really, really expensive. And so it wasn't really for the ordinary person in the society. And so much as in there was hope because then there were drugs, there was also the question of how can the ordinary person access the treatment so we can also save their lives. And also for the people who could access treatment, then it really devastated their families because basically you'd have to sell everything in your home to afford the treatment. And so with the coming in of Global Fund and availing the treatment, then I think that really was the lights at the end of the tunnel, where ordinary people could afford treatment, where people did not need to sell their property in order to live. So it was like giving people a new lease on life and giving people the hope that you can live, you can have a family, you can have a career. And therefore, really those experiences form my memory in terms of where we've come from, what treatment has done, and why we should continue ensuring that we put money in the Global Fund to ensure that we save more lives.